Talofa, Lo'u Ingo, Tyrus, Ituati, Tusega. Wa'u, Uli Samoa. You are probably wondering what I just said. Let me translate. Hello, my name is Tyrus Ituati Tusega. I'm a proud Samoan. Today, I'm going to share something very special to you. Samoa! Yes, today I'm sharing my Whenua and identity. Hopefully you will learn a few facts about Samoa. Imagine this. You're at the airport. First to get in, the plane is taking off. Now, I'm going to tell you about Samoa, my Whenua, our destination. In Samoa, you will see and hear graceful islands swimming by, people doing siva Samoa, the sound of barbecue sizzling on the side of the road, and the waves crashing on the beach of the villages. There is also a lot of vibrant green, sparkling blue. The smell of bunny bubba drifting through the village makes people lick their lips. Look at that! We have landed in Samoa, my friend. Now that we are in Samoa, let me tell you about my identity. I'm not just Samoan, I'm proud of it. Now, can I tell you guys something? I have never been to Samoa, but I still identify as a Samoan. So, what makes me Samoan? Well, I do siva Samoa, which is Samoan dance. Right now, in Romano, we are learning a whaatapati, which is one of many types of siva Samoa. Some others are Sasa, Taurunga, Siva. Siva Samoa helps me learn about my language because I can talk to my mates in Samoa. The dances have a bigger meaning. They contain stories, help me learn about my culture. I enjoy doing Siva Samoa. I'm proud of Samoa because it has a rich history. My ancestors were born there. It's a beautiful tropical paradise. The food is fresh, straight from nature. I love Samoa. O te mita mita tele, I lo'o atunuu o Samoa. I am very proud of my country, Samoa. It's time to go back. Heading to the plane. A little souvenir. Did you learn some facts about Samoa?
I want to talk about something really important. Our land and our animals here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Our country is amazing, with beautiful forests, rivers, mountains and wildlife. If we're not careful, we could lose it all. I think of New Zealand like a rugby team. The All Blacks. Just like a rugby team needs every player to work together to win, our land and animals need us to look after them so they can stay healthy and strong. Right now, pollution from factories and people is hurting our trees and making our rivers dirty. When factories let smoke and chemicals into the air, it's like giving trees a bad sickness. They can't function properly and might die. Pollution in rivers and lakes harms the animals that live there, just like our bad tackles can hurt on the field. Sometimes, rubbish like plastic bags and bottles can end up in the sea. Turtles think plastic bags are jellyfish and eat them, which makes them really sick. That's like giving a player the wrong gear right before a big game. They won't be able to play safely. We need to put our rubbish in the right bins and recycle when we can, so our beaches and oceans stay clean. When we cut down trees or build things in forests, animals lose their homes. That's like breaking down Eden Park. The birds, the animals, they can't live properly if their home isn't safe. Deforestation is like a king attacking the village, coming through and tearing everything apart. And did you know, some animals in New Zealand only live here and nowhere else in the world? That makes them super special. If we lose them, we can't get them back. That's like losing Artie Savia right before the World Cup final. The team just won't be the same. That's why protecting our native birds and animals is such a big deal. We have to be the players who protect our land. If we all link together like a scrum, we can stop polluting and look after the animals and forests. That means planting more trees, not polluting our lakes, and being careful while walking in nature. We need to be strong and brave, just like the All Blacks, to make the right choices for our land and animals. Ka te whakapoke e whenua. Stop polluting the land. Let's do it together for our land, our animals, and our future. We must protect our forests and care for our animals, because when we do, we show the world that even a small team can make a big difference. Let's give pollution a red card.
Our ocean is a beautiful place, but it is getting damaged. How? It is getting damaged by humans who throw their rubbish, especially plastics in the ocean. Climate change is also a problem because the pollution in the air makes the water warmer and that damages a coral reef, so it is not a good place for animals to be living. We need to save our oceans. This is important so we can protect our sea animals, enjoy the beach, and keep our planet healthy. Tia kena te moana, he oranga no ngā uri whakatipu. Care for the ocean so it may sustain future generations. Firstly, we need to protect the ocean so we can protect our sea animals. The rubbish that is dropped is often plastic and it is affecting the sea animals. And it makes the water dirty. Sea animals can choke on rubbish, causing them to die, or they can get tangled and stuck in things like plastic bags. Secondly, we need to protect the ocean so we can enjoy the clean beaches. The rubbish people drop means that people can't swim at beaches because it makes the water too dirty and polluted, which will make people sick. The dirty water from beaches mostly comes from factories and farms. Sometimes chemicals can run into the water, which poisons it. In New Zealand, over 1,000 people get sick from swimming in recreational water, like beaches, lakes, and rivers each year. This is usually a tummy bug or an eye and air infections. Lastly, protecting our oceans helps to keep our planet healthy. Did you know that more than half the oxygen we breathe comes from the ocean? Tiny plants in the sea called phytoplankton float on the water and make oxygen, just like trees do. If the ocean gets dirty and polluted, these tiny plants can die, and that means less oxygen for us. So now you know why we should protect our ocean, because it protects our sea animals, we can enjoy the beach and keep our planet healthy. If we all work together, we can protect our ocean in so many different ways. Let's eat sustainable fish that has been caught without overfishing. Use less plastic, recycle properly, don't litter at the beach, and use less water at home so that we have cleaner water systems. So what are you going to do to save our ocean environment? Toitu te moana, toitu te whenua, toitu te tangata. The ocean is healthy, and the land is healthy, and people will be healthy.
Whenua. It could have many names. What do you call it? Some might say land, some might not know what it means. But to me, whenua is just like whānau. Whenua is our home. When our land is affected by natural disasters or climate change, we must work together to restore it for future generations. Events like storms, cyclones, and housing development have all affected our country in the recent years. This has had serious impact in our landscape. Storms and cyclones over the past few years have impacted our coastlines and changed how our beaches look. Sadly, several West Auckland beaches got closed because of Cyclone Gabrielle. Community groups have had to work with local government and councils to help restore the beaches, such as Pawanui in the Coromandel, where parts of the sand dunes and beach access paths were washed away by huge swells caused by storms earlier this year. The local community banded together over a weekend to help restore and reshape the beach with new sand and planting native plants to maintain the new sand dunes. They worked together so everyone could enjoy the beach again. New housing development, like in our local Hobsonville point, have had community groups formed to make sure the land is protected. Habitat Hobsonville is a community group focused on restoring and enhancing the natural area around Hobsonville. Their vision is to create a sustainable environment for everyone to enjoy. Did you know that they remove harmful weeds, replant the land, and even trap pest animals like rats, stoats, and possums to help our native bird life? Matariki signals the start of the Māori New Year. It is the perfect time to come together to celebrate and reflect on those who passed and look forward to the future. Most of the Matariki stars are connected to our Whenua or Papatonuku, our Earth Mother. I believe our relationship with our land and how we protect it will affect us all, because it is our place of belonging, or tūranga waiwai. Our whenua is a taonga, a treasure that we must all protect. Thank you.
Land, land, land. Wars, wars, wars. Have you ever wondered why do so many wars start? The answer is simple and heartbreaking. Because people want more. More land, more power, more control. And sometimes they'll do anything to get it, even if it means hurting others. Why can't people just be fair? Why can't we share this planet instead of fighting over it? Why can't we stop being selfish and start thinking about the people around us? Let's pause and remember Anzac Day, April 25th, 1915. That's the day brave New Zealand soldiers landed in Gallipoli. They weren't forced to fight. They volunteered. They stood up for what they believed was right. And because of that choice, 2,700 of them never came home. And what about the Vietnam War? It dragged on for 2 whole decades. So many countries joined in. So many lives shattered. Cities were bombed, houses were burned, and children grew up knowing only fear. Imagine being a kid with no playground, no school, no peace. Just the sound of helicopters, the sight of soldiers, and the fear of losing someone every day. That was real. That is real for too many people. And then there was World War II, one of the most devastating wars in history. Tens of millions of people died. Not just soldiers on the battlefields, but mothers in their homes, grandparents in the villages, and children in their schools. Can you picture it? Can you imagine millions of bright, beautiful lives snuffed out in an instant? It's like lighting a candle for each one and then watching them all go dark. Gone, not because of anything they did wrong, but because others couldn't stop fighting over land and power. And here's the saddest part. We still haven't learned. We keep repeating the same mistakes. Wars don't just hurt the ones with weapons. They hurt the people caught in between. They tear families apart. They destroy dreams that even begin. But what if we made a different choice? What if we chose peace over violence, fairness over greed, understanding over fear? What if we taught our children not to hate, but to listen, to care, to forgive? It's not too late. We can change. We can choose a better path. We can be the generation that says, enough. Enough fighting, enough greed, enough war. So please, stop fighting over land. Stop bullying others from being different. Stop turning away from suffering just because it's not happening to you. Stop the wars. Start caring. Start listening. Start making peace everywhere you go. Let's choose peace. Let's choose kindness. Let's choose a better world for everyone. And let's start today.
Climate change, the main cause of our planet's downfall, affecting not only our lives, but also dragging our animals that were once overpopulated to the very brink of extinction, destroying natural habitats and melting our only glaciers. Polar bears, and other animals that call the very ice melting their own home, and most importantly, corrupting our Whenua, holding all our life and history, or also known as land. What is climate change? Well, climate change refers to long-term changes in weather and temperature patterns. Such shifts can be completely natural due to changes within the sun's activities, or could also be caused by pollution. Either way, climate change is not a good thing. It can cause several natural disasters, such as sea levels rising, droughts, temperatures rising, flooding, and way more. These events affect things that we depend on and value, like water, energy, transportation, and even wildlife. Climate change also connects to global warming and has many other effects. How do we stop climate change? Us humans cannot stop or reverse it completely. However, we can definitely try to slow it down. To slow it down, we must work together as a big group to focus on these things. Eating more veggies, fruit, less meat, and dairy is healthier for both you and our planet. Using the 3 R's also help: reduce, reuse, and recycle. The world's roads are clogged with cars, powered and burning by oil and gas. This is the main type of pollution. Instead, you should switch to walking or biking as an alternative, which has a few good reasons why. 1, it reduces pollution. 2, it costs way less. I mean, in today's economy, that's a steal. And 3, you can also get some exercise in. Global warming. Global warming means a very slow heating of our planet. Global warming runs under climate change's effects and is also the main reason animals like polar bears and others in icy places are going extinct. Global warming is killing us and our Whenua. I think we should act now rather than later to help our planet. Overall, doing these things causes you less harm and does our Whenua a lot of good. It is our job to protect our planet. Even though we probably won't live that long, more and more people are still coming to our Earth, and we will be their ancestors, which means we must be good examples like our ancestors did. I mean, who wants to live on a rotting planet? Surely you don't.
What does Whenua mean to you? Maybe a special landmark, or a place you have family reunions, or even a holiday house. Rangiputa is my special place, and I'm going to tell you why. Where is it located? Rangiputa is located in the west coast of the Katikati Peninsula, 44 kilometres northeast of Kaitaia. People sometimes go there because of the amazing types of day visits. That include Matai Bay, Puhiki Beach, Kaitaia, Doubtless Bay, Gumdigga Park, Cape Reinga, and Maunganui, which is my favourite because of the amazing chocolate fudge and salted caramel ice creams that you can buy there. If you don't like any of those places, try going fishing or playing on the pontoon. Rangiputa's population. Rangiputa's population had a huge increase from 2018 to 2023, with a whopping 435 residents. In winter, Rangiputa normally only has around 100 residents, but then gains up to approximately 400 during the summer months. Did you know that Rangiputa is around 18 million years old? Why is Rangiputa a memorable place for me and my whānau? Rangiputa is a memorable place for me and my whānau because it's a special place to go during Christmas and Easter. My family and I are very proud of our waterfront mansion because it has brought us a long 17-year memory chart that we will never forget. Sometimes when my mum and I go there for a long weekend, we normally go to an old shop filled with antique stuff like radios and discs. And if you're lucky, you might even find a section of the shop where it tells you about the Treaty of Waitangi, which links you back to Whenua. Some more facts about Rangiputa. Rangiputa is a Maori word which in English means heaven. And believe me, it truly is. I mean, beautiful white sand, clear blue water, and happy people. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. One day, you should go see this place for yourself. And maybe it might become your special place too. So, next time you're at school, a special landmark, or even your bedroom, think about your family and how they would feel if they could be there. So, stop being on devices for centuries and go see what your family are up to. Maybe go on a day trip or travel to a different country for a few weeks. Go to your special place. Spend time with your whānau.
Just imagine you're walking in a forest that's surrounded you with unimaginable kauri trees, or hearing the pretty kiddos. Tēnā koutou, ko Romano tōku Whenua, and today I'm going to be talking about a place called the Waitakere Ranges, why knowing its history matters, and how to protect it. The Waitakere Ranges have a rich and complex history, encompassing both human settlements and geological formations. A volcanic activity formed the ranges millions of years ago as the Waitakere eventually became uplifted while the volcano erupted. Māori history is interwoven with the land, occupying the area and its various tribes using its resources. The European settlement included the establishment of parks, also significantly impacted the logging and the ranges. Now, do you know why the history of the Waitakere Ranges matters? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you why. Understanding the history of the Waitakere Ranges is a lot crucial for appreciating its cultural significance to Māori, its role in Auckland's water supply, and its unique natural environment. Here's a fact that may be interesting. The Waitakere Ranges supply approximately only 20% of Auckland's total water, while the Whenua Ranges provide around 60%. This knowledge informs conservation efforts and management plans to promote responsible recreation within the area. To protect the Waitakere Ranges, we need to focus on preventing the spreading of the deadly disease called kauri dieback and managing other threats like weeds and pests. This involves respecting the rāhui, temporarily closing certain areas, practicing hygiene by cleaning your boots at the cleaning stations, supporting local initiatives by volunteering your time to donate to conservation organizations, and being mindful of your part by considering your impact on the environment when visiting the ranges. Now is the time to protect the Waitakere Ranges by volunteering in activities to keep the Waitakere healthy and clean by all of us doing our part. We can ensure that the Waitakere Ranges will be around for the future generations to enjoy and appreciate its rich and complex history. So let's work together and keep our treasure wonderful like it is today. Thank you.
With the rise of climate change, it has affected 1.2 billion people, which is 15% of the entirety of the human population. Kia ora. My name is Ayden Head. Today I'll be talking about climate change and how this affects us and what we can do to stop this horrific event for us and our future whānau. Firstly, transport. With roads filled with a variety of cars burning diesel and petrol, these gases go up into the atmosphere, which traps heat and leads to global warming. To reduce this, we can walk, bike, or take electric buses or trains to wherever we need to go. Another option is to buy an electric car. Unlike the regular car, an electric car does not use diesel or petrol, which means no gas emissions, therefore less global warming and less effects on everyone and everything we love. Next, saving energy at home. Power plants create the energy we use at home by burning fossil fuels such as oil and coal. This means the less energy we use, the less gas emissions created. So by turning off lights that don't need to be on, taking less time in the shower, and even installing solar panels, we can help lower the energy we make all around Auckland, which is a positive change on us and our environment. Thirdly, we can follow the motto, reduce, reuse, repair, recycle. Every time we throw away a shirt, do you know how much carbon is used to make that shirt? 1.84 kilograms of carbon dioxide. It's as much as a car that has traveled 10 kilometers or 3.7 miles. That is 1 whole liter of gas going up into the sky, causing mass chaos. So by reducing energy, reusing and repairing old clothes, and recycling broken items, we can help stop climate change from getting worse. The way climate change is heading, by 2050, sea levels could rise up to 30 centimeters, flooding homes and coastal areas such as the Bay of Plenty. Is this what we really want? I don't think so. We should all do our part by lowering our transportation gases, home energy, and following the motto, reduce, reuse, repair, recycle. Because we can stop this terrible act for us and our future fun.
Imagine trying to breathe, but every breath scorches your lungs. The air is so polluted, it feels like it's breaking you from the inside out. A thick, choking fog wraps around you, so dense you can't even see a couple steps ahead. This nightmare isn't fiction, it's our future, unless we act now to protect our world while we still have the chance. Plastic was amazing. From toys to packaging, it felt like the greatest invention ever made. Until it wasn't. Until we realised that all convenience came at a cost. In our whenua, our land is paying the price. And I think it's time to stop. It's time to stop pretending that this isn't our problem. Time we stop choosing what's easy over what's right, because our whenua deserves better. Whenua doesn't just mean land, it means home. And it supplies us with so many necessities that we couldn't live without. Food, water, shelter, and even the air we breathe. Can you imagine our world without whenua? Since I've started speaking, over 1 million plastic bottles have been purchased, and most of these will never fully break down in our lifetime. As they slowly degrade, they release toxic fumes into the air and break into microplastics that pollute our waterways and oceans. You can't see them, but they're in the food we eat and the water we drink. And it's not just us we need to worry about. Wildlife is suffering too. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish. Birds feed bits of plastic to their chicks, not realising it's poison. Entire ecosystems are collapsing because of the waste we continue to pile on them. Rubbish isn't just lying on the ground anymore, it's inside our animals, in our soil, and even found in newborn babies. But here's the good news, it's not too late. We still have time if we choose to act. We can start with simple actions. Pick up litter instead of walking past it. Say no to single-use plastic. Bring your own lunch container or drink bottle to school. Plant trees, flowers, even vegetables. Every plant helps cleanse our air and reconnects us to the land. Talk about these issues. Share what you learn. Be the spark that inspires others. We're not alone in this endeavour. Costa Rica runs on nearly 100% natural energy, wind, water, sunshine. Places like New Zealand are aiming to be carbon neutral by 2050, while Sweden hopes to be fossil fuels free by 2045. If they can do it, so can we, but we need to stop waiting for others to fix it. This is our world, this is our future. And the truth is, change doesn't come from one giant action, it comes from millions of small ones. I hope I've inspired you to play your part in protecting our future. Because even small choices, picking up rubbish, starting a clean-up club at school, or simply sharing this message can lead to a big change. Don't wait until it's too late. Let's start now. Let's protect our whenua, our lands, together. Thank you.
Imagine someone bigger, stronger, and more powerful than you bursts into your home and tells you to give it to them or suffer the consequences, so you agree to leave. Next thing you know, you've got no home and nothing you can do about it. This is what happened to iwi who had been living throughout Aotearoa for hundreds of years before the British arrived. The treaty was used to take their land and their power. After years of Māori people and generations of iwi protesting for their rights, hope had arrived. Māori started to get listened to, respected, and even get some compensation for all of the wrongs. But then, suddenly, things start going backwards. This is what is happening right now. The New Zealand government is planning to remove the mention of the government's obligations to Māori under the treaty from many laws. This diminishes the place of Te Tiriti or Waitangi and removes recognition of the important place and role of Māori in Aotearoa. You might think, why does any of this matter now? It happened so long ago. Actually, Māori are still being impacted by the loss of their whenua and their sense of belonging to this day. Because Māori lost their land and their power and were treated as second-class citizens, it was easier for non-Māori to advance. There was discrimination against Māori in education, to rent, to get a bank loan, to get a good job and be promoted. Once you are disadvantaged and living in poverty, it is harder for future generations to turn their circumstances around. For example, your parents might have low-paying jobs, and instead of you getting a proper education, you might have to stay home to look after younger siblings or work to support your family. The effects of this disadvantage can be seen through recent statistics. According to Stats New Zealand, Māori men and women have a shorter life expectancy than non-Māori men and women. On average, Māori men live 8 years less than non-Māori men, and Māori women live 7 years less than non-Māori women. Also, 52% of the prison population in Aotearoa is Māori, but only 15% of the whole population is Māori. It's no wonder that 52% of the prison population is Māori, because the Ministry of Justice reports that Māori are more likely to be charged with a crime and more likely to be found guilty than non-Māori. This is a result of institutional racism within police and the justice system, when police might be more willing to give non-Māori a warning without charging them, and where judges and juries more easily find Māori guilty of crimes than non-Māori. Whenua is important to Māori culture. It is part of Māori identity. The whenua Māori connect to is stated in pepeha, which allows connections to be made. The link between Māori and the land stretches back to the time of creation. Having land taken was so much more than losing the land. It was a loss of identity, connection, and whakapapa. It has taken generations to even begin to repair the damage. We need to make sure we don't go backwards. For Māori and non-Māori, now is the time to rise up and be heard. Tātou tātou e.
Imagine you're thirsty on a hot summer day, craving refreshing cold water. You run over to your tap, excited, just to meet with a green, mossy, gunky water, smelling like the sewers. It's estimated that more than 34,000 people in Canterbury and Z get sick each year due to contaminated and polluted drinking water. This is due to pollutants entering a water source, making it unsafe and dangerous to consume and drink. These pollutants mainly come from chemicals from stormwater, wastewater, and sewage water. One major concern is the nitrate contamination in our groundwater. It can increase health vulnerability and risk to illnesses such as cancer or blue baby syndrome to our infants. NZ's freshwater ecosystems are also struggling to survive, and native species like fish decrease when algae blooms take over polluted rivers and lakes. This leads to a shortage of water activities such as swimming or water polo. Water pollution has major consequences for both the environment and the health of humans and wildlife. It can easily interrupt ecosystems, leading to a loss of biological diversity and damage to our habitats. It can cause a variety of health problems. The anatomical impacts are so serious, with costs related to healthcare, shortages of tourism, and agricultural productivity. This also results in damages to our fishers and fisheries. In comparison, water pollution in Canterbury is primarily focused on the nitrate contamination of drinking water sources. It's a significant concern with increasing nitrate concentrations in our groundwater. Although, while some coastal waters are improving, others, such as Canterbury, are undergoing challenges due to land development. And according to RNZ News, a recent survey by the Environment of Canterbury have proved that 59% of monitored sites had worsening nitrate levels. And 10% of Canterbury are currently disobeying and are breaking the drinking water standard. But as for Auckland, its problem is the low quality water. Although the drinking water levels and standards are high, many of our urban rivers, beaches, and harbors are overflowing with sediment and are filled with rubbish and litter. They are visually and ecologically polluted, and sometimes water activities can be dangerous due to this pollution. In conclusion, it is clear that water pollution can disrupt and end beneficial reproductive activities, and can also cause fish kills and can change and alter our aquatic homes and habitats. This results in a loss of biodiversity, which can worsen the Earth's resilience upon climate change and global warming. It can also reduce and contaminate our resources to survive, such as food and water. Water pollution is caused by human irresponsibility and clumsiness, and can majorly impact health by causing illnesses. All living things require food and water to survive, so we must protect our water sources from water pollution. Ko te wai, te toto o te whenua, ko te whenua, te toto o te tangata. Water is the blood of the land, and the land is the blood of the people. We must protect our whenua. Thank you.
Nature, whether it's a small patch of garden or a large hiking trail. What if we lost nature altogether? I'm Zach Millin, a year 8 at Hobsonville School and member of the Whenua Air Scouts. Today I want to speak for the trees, the trails, the tracks, and the land beneath our boots. Whenua Air Scouts is located within the Whenua in the west, within West Auckland in the Whenua district. Whenua means good land, which reminds us as people and scouts that land isn't just dirt on our shoes. It's our home, our history, and something we can all work together to protect. For me, this connection comes to life in the Waitakere Ranges. I've hiked there, camped there, and eaten whilst the light dances between trees in ways that make you just stop and watch. But this beautiful place is under attack. The Waitakeres are fighting battles they didn't ask for, taking damage from kauri dieback, weeds, pests, climate change, and the pressure of more and more people walking on its trails, sometimes without care or consideration. Kauri dieback spreads through the land, the soil, and the dirt trees grow in, and it's killing our trees that have stood for over thousands of years. We forget that the simple chore of cleaning our shoes has real benefits. When we walk on land with clean shoes, it helps stop the spread of kauri dieback disease. There are estimated to only be about 40,000 mature kauri trees left in Aotearoa. That sounds like a big number, but if disease steps in, it'll cause devastation and fast. Once our kauri trees are gone, they're gone forever. But this speech isn't about giving up, it's about stepping up. At Whenua Air Scouts, we camp with a rule, leave no trace. It's not just about putting your campfire out properly or throwing your rubbish away. It's about respecting the land as if it were one of us, because it is. That means staying on marked tracks, avoiding closed areas, and respecting the rahui that has been placed on areas of the Waitakeres to allow the nature to recuperate. In short, stepping up is about being a guardian, not just a visitor. Showing responsibility and care, not ignoring it and letting others fix it. Because the truth is, we're not just here to enjoy the land. We're also here to protect it and ensure our whenua is here for our future generations, for our younger scouts, for our future hikers, for our trees. So I will leave you with the words of the Lorax. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Let's be that someone in this story. Let's care. Let's protect our whenua so our future generations will never have to ask us how it used to look. Ngā mihi, thank you.
The runner-up for the 7-8. Please come forward, Veer. Well done, Veer. The person we have selected to go through to the Whiriti Tangata speech competition, and as I said, you will be up against a very high standard from these other schools, is Angela.
In second place for Year 5-6, congratulations, Ben Zygis. And in first place, the student for me gave a global context and was able to, and it was also a bit similar to yours, Angela, it was quite complex. I was able to sort of whittle it down to your audience of years 5 to 8. And that was about Stop the Wars. So congratulations, Veer Zhang.